Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, Tin Newty Player here, and this is my first actual discussion video, and one I'm really excited to talk about, as the first trailer for the new Smash game was shown in this Direct, which actually surprised me as I thought a game like this would be shown at E3 and not in a March Direct. I'm a fangirl when it comes to Super Smash Bros. My first ever experience with the series was on the original N64 in 1999, when I got it for my birthday, and I loved seeing my favourite characters like Mario, Yoshi, DK and Captain Falcon. But the game also introduced me to many more, such as Samus, who I first thought she was a robot, and Ness, who I thought was a character from Harvest Moon. I have played all the games in the series, and every one of them I put in so many hours that no mortal being should spend their time on a video game. Smash Bros. Has introduced me to many series throughout the years like Metroid, Fire Emblem and Kid Icarus, and I am thankful for the developers to introduce me to these great series. However, like every other impatient fan, I would like to see new additions and things to improve on in future installments, so that's why I'll be listing some things I would love to see in the next Smash Bros. Game. I won't be mentioning new characters as I would do a list for that in the future. Brawl might not have the best multiplayer experience, but it definitely was my personal favourite when it comes to single player, and that mostly came down to the Subspace Emissary. It wasn't a groundbreaking story like Persona 5 or Xenoblade Chronicles, but seeing characters like Fox saving Diddy from Wake Fraser and Mario trying to pummel Yeet's face was fascinating to see, as I loved how certain characters would interact with each other. The only issue I had besides the Great Maze was that it was disappointing not to see more Nintendo themed worlds and enemies. If they brought something like Subspace back, I would be really happy. Imagine roaming across DK Island as Samus, knocking out Tremlians and the Snowmans, or even fighting various revenants from Awakening as Kirby. Unfortunately, the developers removed a story-like mode in the 3DS and Wii U version, as Sakurai said, "Unfortunately, the movie scenes we worked hard to create were uploaded onto the internet. You can only truly wow a player the first time he sees a cutscene." I felt if players saw the cutscenes outside of the game, they would no longer serve as rewards for playing the game, so I've decided against having them. But many developers like Sakurai and Hideo Kojima have changed their minds throughout the years, and with many fighting games like Injustice 2, Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter V, adding a story mode could likely happen. Most fighting games had an arcade mode, and Smash was no exception, with the classic mode where you go through each stage fighting against all your favourite Nintendo characters in either one-on-one, team battle, or in some unique gimmick like Metal Battle. They were fun and I already went back to them for the enjoyment. But the Wii U version was an utter mess. In Smash for Wii U they introduced 8-player Smash, which was pure chaos and pure fun as a multiplayer experience. But playing by yourself and going up against 7 random CPUs was frustrating, and it was difficult to see where you were on the screen and getting knocked out from a random explosion that you never saw coming. Smash on the 3DS had the right idea. While there were a few stages, the player is given multiple paths to choose from, each with their own difficulty. If the developers mixed the classic mode from the 3DS version and the games of old, I would spend a lot of time on the single player. Speaking of the 3DS version, I would love to see Smash Run come back for the Switch, but with more additional tweaks. Smash Run was a mode similar to Kirby Air Ride, where 4 players had to defeat a number of various Nintendo enemies and increase various stats for 5 minutes, and at the end of 5 minutes you were put into a minute challenge. It had some issues, like you couldn't interact with each other on the actual Smash Run segment, but that may be due to the limitations of the 3DS. But having it on a more powerful system like the Switch, I don't see this would be a problem. The others include having a variety of stages rather than a single course, and didn't even make a Nintendo themed world, but the endgame challenge was very short and I wish it would last a bit longer. Probably having more stock or having a best out of 3 matches. Also having an online mode would be neat. Smash Tour on the other hand felt like a poor man's Mario Party. But it did have a unique challenge at the end, where you control multiple characters you collected throughout the tour and use them in a battlefield fight similar to a team battle mode in Soul Calibur 2. Having a team battle mode where you can select a number of characters as stock would be cool, as a separate versus mode where you can play through multiple stages. I wish we had more unique stages rather than half the stages being from previous titles. I mean, I know it's difficult to create new stages and it's a lot easier reusing assets, but I'm a spoiled person and would love to see new and unique stages. Staying on the topic with stages, it would be great to see other Nintendo franchises getting representation as stage forms. Like, imagine seeing a Skill Diver stage, where you're fighting on top of a submarine, or a Sin and Punishment stage. Smash 3DS and Wii U had amazing stages from smaller series such as Street Pass Quest and Pilot Wings, and it would be great to expand them by adding more. This next wish is quite minor, but a lot of fighting games have alternate costumes, and I would love to see Smash get the same treatment, either as DLC, free updates, or even as unlockables. It'd be neat to see alternate costumes such as Spirit Tracks Inc., Star Fox Adventures Fox McCloud, and it would give a chance to add new characters without worrying or thinking unique movesets for, like having Daisy being as an alternate for Peach, or having Matt Rider or Sight Bike as an alternate for Captain Falcon. It would also be great to see some of the clone characters like Lucina, Dr. Mario and Dark Pit being another stand for Marth, Mario and Pit. It would probably be a good way to reward the player for going an extra mile if you don't unlock these alternate costumes. Super Smash Bros. Has been my favourite series ever since I owned the original nearly 20 years ago. Damn, that's old. And as a fan, I would like to see the series improve with each iteration, and even if my wishes don't come true, I believe Sakurai and his team will still make a remarkable experience that I will still play for hours and hours. Tell me what you'd love to see added or even removed in the comments below, and until then, take care and have a wonderful day.